Happiness in a chaotic world. The world is a chaotic place. There's no way of getting around that. As much as we try to create order in our lives, the reality is that most of our existence is dependent upon the disorder of a world indifferent to our efforts. This is just the inevitable truth of being alive. When you're interviewing for a new job, you could do everything you can to plan out your talking points, but fail to notice a mustard stain on your shirt that ultimately leaves a lasting impression. When you're starting a new relationship, you might find that you remind the other person of someone they used to know. Maybe someone they didn't like. These are just a couple of examples of the disorder we can't avoid or prevent. If there's so much that can't be controlled, what are we supposed to do? Float through this existence defeated and distraught? Obviously, the answer is no. Even if we don't always know how to deal with the chaos in the world, we have to find a way to move through it. Charles Bukowski once said, "What matters most is how well you walk through the fire." How well do you walk through the fire? Typically, as we get older and wiser, we all inevitably learn how to survive the fires of life. But sometimes surviving the fire takes all the energy we have. Sometimes surviving isn't enough. Just surviving doesn't bring happiness. And often, just surviving seems like the only option for many people. This is clearly demonstrated in the way we talk to each other on a daily basis when we say, "I'm not too bad," or "I'm hanging in there." It's pretty obvious that avoiding disaster is our only expectation sometimes. And it's true that surviving is something we need to aim for, and just getting through the day is an accomplishment. But what if we could find our happiness inside of the chaos? If we could learn how to do this, we would use these challenges we're facing as opportunities for finding deeper levels of happiness. The more profound the challenges we face, the more profound it is when we find a way to rise above them. It's a special kind of happiness when you achieve so much in this world that gives you so little. These victories taste a little bit sweeter because you get to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I did this. It was the strength in me that got me past what I was facing." I like to call this experience chaotic happiness because it's born in the fire of the persistent fight we're constantly waging against a world where the odds of finding joy are not always stacked in our favor. You might be thinking, this is all just talk, and wonder how you can actually seize this chaotic happiness for yourself. This is where the 3 rules of chaotic happiness come into play. I developed these rules after working with clients who are also trying to find it for themselves. As a psychotherapist, I've spent the majority of my time doing crisis intervention in prisons and psychiatric hospitals and communities with people in extreme circumstances. I've found that helping people find happiness in the chaos of life is the thing in this world I'm best at. And these rules I've created will guide you in your own journey as you fight the fires of life by finding the fire within. I believe in the process I've created because I've seen it work in my clients' lives. Life is so unfair to all of us in so many ways, without exception. I've never met a person who hasn't been deeply hurt by the world's insufferable ability to stare us down and break us badly. I used to think that being crushed was the only outcome that could come from this world. After all, if these challenges are unchangeable, the results of them must be too. But I've learned that it's the best in ourselves, compassion, understanding, and strength that can arise from within us in the toughest of times. We can't change the challenges that come from the chaos, but we can change ourselves. Existential anxiety. I love a good underdog story, don't you? And make no mistake, we are the underdogs here. I believe it's you and me and everyone else against the chaos. And happiness is a hard-won prize. The path to realizing chaotic happiness is a treacherous one that you're never really done with. So, if you're going to come along with me, be prepared for some stumbling and strife. But I promise you this, if you commit to learning these rules with me, you'll find things in yourself that will help you for the rest of your life. As the old saying goes, give someone a fish, you'll feed them for a day. Teach them how to fish, you'll feed them for life. I want to teach you to fish, not give you one-size-fits-all answers that will leave you hungry later. I want to help you find a new way of being for yourself that will help you protect your happiness no matter what the world throws at you. However, before we outline how to tackle the challenges that come from the chaos, let's take a deeper look at what's creating all this chaos in the first place, the uncharted, unpredictable, and uncertain world we live in. Once we better understand these challenging aspects, we'll be better prepared to combat them with each of the 3 rules of chaotic happiness. In psychology, it's these 3 aspects of the world that cause what we refer to as existential anxiety, or our fear that our lives are inherently pointless.